Okay, let's get it started. So could you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Um, so last class we discussed about series resonance. Today we will be looking parallel resonance in case of the parallel circuit. So for example, say there is a current source I am with phase angle theta, and that current source is powering resistance, inductance, and capacitance. So at the bottom, it shows the phasor diagram in the phasor form. Like for L has been changed, j omega L, C has been changed in phasor domain on over j omega C. So therefore, today we will also make the same analysis as to the series resonance case. And then we will be looking some practice problem. So therefore, based on this circuit, what we can write, because that is parallel circuit, we can write down the admittance y, and then which is the transfer function h omega. So therefore, as you can see, it was the parallel circuit. So in case of parallel circuit, uh, several classes back, you noticed that directly we can calculate the admittance, like here on over r, on over j omega l, and on over j omega c. So in that format, so therefore everybody see that Y admittance on over R. Then for inductance on over j omega L. But in case of the capacitor, because that on over jxc, then xc is again on over omega c. Therefore ultimately it became j omega c. And then uh, I am organizing it in real and reactive component. So this is on over R. And then here look, here it is j omega c, but here it is on over j omega L. So what I am doing, I am taking the j in the numerator. So that's why it will be minus. And therefore, accordingly, here you see, first I am writing this on j, then omega c, minus this on over omega L. Now again, if you remember uh, last class for the series circuit, we calculated the impedance. And the impedance has resistance and then reactive component, I mean imaginary component. And we said that resonance occurred when the imaginary part would be zero. That today also the same conclusion, the resonance occurs when the imaginary part of y is zero. Therefore, this is the admittance expression. If this portion becomes zero, only then the resonance will occur. So therefore, this part you see is zero. And then I am changing the symbol omega because it is getting omega square LC. So accordingly, omega naught, which is called the resonant frequency. So therefore, ultimately, you are getting omega naught on over root over LC. And then if you remember in last class, because that was the series circuit, here we calculated the magnitude of current. So it was V over impedance. Today it is we are calculating V equal to then Im over that admittance, Im over Y. So you know that in case of the parallel circuit, current equal to voltage multiplied by the admittance, Vy. So that's why V is Im over this one. So root over, this is 1 over R square plus omega C minus 1 over omega L squared. Everybody, could you follow so far?
Yes.
Okay, great. Then moving forward, we will be plotting this one like voltage versus the frequency. Yes, here you see this axis voltage, this axis omega frequency. So therefore, just now we noticed that when it is omega naught, at that time it has the highest voltage. So in case of the series circuit, when at point omega naught, current was the maximum. Because this is parallel circuit, we are looking the voltage. So that's why if you see this equation, this portion is 0 at resonance condition. So therefore what you are getting after root over r, you are getting ultimately 1 over r. And then that r is going in the numerator. So therefore magnitude of V is Im multiplied by r. So that's why at omega naught point, magnitude of V Im r. And then again you will be getting 2 point omega 1, omega 2, which is called the half power frequency. And at this point, at omega 1 and omega 2, voltage is Im over root 2 over r. Im over root 2 over r. And then that r is going in the numerator. So therefore, ultimately, Im multiplied by r over root 2. This means 0.707 of this one. So this is the highest voltage at this point. This is called half power point, which is 0.707 Im multiplied by r. And then this distance is called the bandwidth, distance between omega 2 and omega 1, frequency bandwidth. Now, as I said that at this point, power is half, and here the power is maximum. In next slide, I think I have written down those power equation, which we will be utilizing today to solve numerical problems. So here you can see that average power dissipated by the RLC circuit is that phi omega. This means because you are looking average power, so half V square G. G is the conductance. So you can express in terms of conductance to calculate the power, or you can change G on over R. So therefore have V square over R. So therefore the highest power dissipated at resonance, which is, now you can express in terms of current as well, because here we looked V is Im multiplied by R. So Im is the magnitude of the current. So accordingly, see, we can say we can replace V by IMR. So IMR is squared over R. So you see, ultimately it is getting Im squared in the numerator, R is squared. So 1 R is cancelled, so R. And then similarly, the power at frequency omega 1 and omega 2, which will be equal half, and then IMR by root 2. You look this one, this voltage value, IMR over root 2. So therefore, if you do that, then because it was 1 over root 2, and then you are making squared, so it is getting half, and then already there is half, so 1/4. So 1 over 4, then Im square R. I think everybody you understands this calculation, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So then now moving forward, so we said that omega 1 and omega 2 are called that half power frequency. So likewise, we did in last class, we want to calculate those two half power frequency, omega 1 and omega 2. So therefore, Vm at omega 1 and omega 2 is Imr by root 2. In other words, we can say Im over root 2 by R. We can write this one. So I'm talking about this point. So you can say that this is Im over root 2 over R. So this means you think that in the denominator, it is root 2 over R. So therefore, to calculate the half power frequency, let's set y equal to root 2 over R. That's why that admittance y is root 2 over R. And then you see, I am squaring both sides, and this is left side, and right side 2 over R squared. And again, I am rearranging the terms. So 2 over R squared, I am taking in the left side, and first I'm writing this one, and then minus, because 2 is going this side, and there is 1 over R squared, 1 over R squared. So now you see, it's now a good for like algebra, a squared minus b squared. So therefore I can write this a plus B, and then this one A minus B. Everybody, could you follow me?
Yes.
Okay. And then, because our goal is to find out omega, so we can say based on this equation that left side is 0, and then right side could also be the 0. So therefore, first let's equate that left side equals to 0. And then later, right side, this portion equals to 0. And then what we get? So therefore, everybody see, first I'm writing that left portion that equals to 0. And then I am simplifying, I'm calculating. So it is getting quadratic equation. So ultimately, you see, omega e square plus 1 over RC omega minus 1 over LC equal to 0. So therefore, this is a good form of the quadratic equation, like ax square plus bx plus c. So see, everybody, the solution omega, this one, minus 1 over RC plus minus this number divided by 2. So this means that because there is plus minus, so we will be getting two solutions. And then because in the denominator there is 2, so I am writing in that way 1 over 2 RC plus minus here root over 1 over 2 RC square plus 1 over LC. So therefore with plus sign on result and with the minus sign the another value of omega 2. But again you see we are actually finding out this point omega 1 point and omega 2 point, and those are definitely the positive because they are right side of that, the 0 position. So here you see we got two values, omega 1 and omega 2. So definitely this omega 2 is negative. Clearly it is negative, but this can be positive because you see this portion will be greater than this one. So therefore here I have said, but here omega 2 is negative, so it cannot be a solution. So we can say that omega 1 is a solution. Then again, this portion can be also 0. So therefore, accordingly, I am writing that on 0. And then same way, I am simplifying. It became a quadratic equation. And then again, I solved for omega. I got two values of omega. But you see, in this case, this omega 1 is fully positive. It will be positive. But this will be negative because this will be larger than this one. And there is negative sign. So it cannot be, omega 2 cannot be a solution. So therefore, ultimately, this one is one solution, this omega 1, and this omega 1 is another solution. And then if you compare these two numbers, definitely this omega 1 is bigger than this omega 1. Therefore, this is your omega 2, this is your omega 1. Here, you see, here definitely omega 2 is larger than omega. Therefore, this will be your omega 2 and this will be your omega 1. So accordingly, here I think I'm writing that thing. You see, the final solution omega is omega 1 and this is omega 2. Everybody, could you follow me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it on the last? Go back to the last slide.
Okay.
Where it says W2 is negative, so it cannot be a solution. On the left, bottom left.
This one?
Yeah, can you explain?
Oh,
Because
sure.
aren't they both negative?
Yeah. So the result will be negative, right? Because the whole thing is negative. So
Okay.
okay, Julian, first look. We are what we are doing, we are trying to find out the value of omega 1 and omega 2 here. So therefore you see, definitely those should be positive numbers, right? Because the 0 is here and we are going right side. So omega 1 on omega 2, nothing is plotted on the left side, they're on the right side. So therefore definitely omega 1 and omega 2 should be positive number, right, Julian?
Yeah, I think I just got confused when I saw the answer. When you go to the slide with the answer.
Oh, okay. No, then
And the answer has a negative right in front of it.
Oh yeah, so therefore you see, because there is here there is negative, but you see this is plus sign. So therefore this number after making root over, still this value will be larger than this one.
So it makes it positive.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I get it now. Yeah.
Yes. And then this is definitely positive. Yeah. So therefore this one, this omega 2 came from right side, this omega 1. Look this one. And the omega 1 is coming from this one, left side. So that's why in the left side, we have said that omega 2 cannot be a solution because it is fully negative. And then in the right side, again, this omega 2 cannot be a solution because you look, there is a minus sign here. So ultimately, this portion will be larger than 1 over 2 RC, but then result will be negative. Now you get it?
Sir.
Yes. Okay, great. Okay, so now you remember that last class we were discussing that quality factor with regard to that series resonance. So same thing goes for the parallel resonance. So the definition of quality factor was energy consumption by the reactive component, like either inductor or capacitor, over the energy dissipated through the resistor. Therefore, because we are looking the parallel circuit, you see, what is the energy across the L in case of parallel circuit, which is V square BL. What is that BL? Inductive susceptance. If you remember inductive susceptance, then T is coming because this is energy. So therefore V square BL, that is your power, and then multiplied by time. I mean, we have to look for one cycle of the waveform. And then in the denominator, B square G is the definitely power, and then T is making its energy. So therefore, next time you see, T is getting cancelled, V square cancelled. What is VL? VL is 1 over XL. And what is G? 1 over R. Therefore, you see, ultimately, R is going in the numerator, and XL is omega L. So, but I have written omega naught to indicate that this will be the quality factor at resonance. Similarly, you see for QC, in case of capacitive port, so V square BC, that BC is capacitive susceptance, then multiplied by T, this became energy, and then again power dissipated through the resistance, V square GT. So in this case, again, TT cancel, V square cancelled, G is 1 over R, VC is 1 over XC, then R will go in the numerator, XC will come in the denominator, but again, you know, what is XC? XC is 1 over omega C. Then again, omega C is ultimately going in the numerator, so it became omega naught CR. So therefore, you could say Q equal to this or this. As I said before, or today we'll be solving the numerical problem, you will be getting the same result, same value of quality factor, whether you use this equation or this one. And then omega naught is root over omega 1 multiplied by omega 2. If you multiply these two, then ultimately you will be getting 1 over root over LC, which is called the resonant frequency. Everybody, could you follow all the calculations?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So then now moving forward. Yeah, so those are the things I have written again here, you see, kind of the summary. So what is that bandwidth? V is that omega 2 minus omega 1. What is omega 2 minus omega 1? It will be 1 over RC. So therefore this is omega 1, this is omega 2. If you subtract this one from here, then ultimately you will be getting 1 over RC. So I think if you see the slides or your note, in case of series resonance, bandwidth V was R over L, R over L. But today we got this is for parallel circuit bandwidth 1 over RC. Therefore, when solving the numerical problem, you will be looking whether it is series circuit or parallel circuit. Accordingly, you have to choose the appropriate equation. So therefore, again, so I'm writing this one, Q omega naught CR, that we concluded here, this one, Q omega naught CR. So from there, because 1 over RC is B, so I am relating with that V. So finally, you can say Q omega naught B. So we also got the same thing in case of the series circuit. And then if you remember last class, I was telling if the Q value is high. So what is the definition of high? So definition is that if Q greater than or equal to 10, then you can make this approximation, this omega 1 almost equal to omega naught minus B by 2. Because this is the total bandwidth V over 2 and then omega 2, that omega naught plus B by 2. Therefore, in the numerical problem, first you will be looking what is the value of Q. If it is greater than 10, then definitely you can use this one. So therefore, the result that you will be getting using these two equations and the result that you will be getting using these two, those will be same. I mean, either way you can do that. So everybody is fine?
So do they have one for if it's like a lower Q circuit? Or-
Sorry?
So what do we do if it's like the lower Q circuit? Like if it's less than 10?
Oh, then we definitely we will be using these two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is the original expression. So therefore, because you see this is a little bit long, so sometimes it is difficult to remember. That's why if you see that the Q is greater than 10, then instead of doing that expression, directly use this one. That is the meaning. But if it is Q is less than 10, then definitely you have to use this two.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, now let's have a look at an example. Then it will be more clear to everybody. Okay, everybody see, this is a parallel circuit. Voltage is 10 sine omega t. Current is flowing, and then that is going through RL and C. Now, you see the statement in the parallel RLC circuit of the following figure. Let R equal to 8 kilo ohm, L 0.2 millihenry, and C value is 8 microfarad. So based on this, calculate omega naught, Q, and B. So therefore, omega naught is resonant frequency, Q is quality factor, B is bandwidth. And question number B, find omega 1 and omega 2. Those two have power frequency. And question C, determine the power dissipated at omega naught, omega 1, omega 2. And then here I have written down the answers. But let's have look the solution. So everybody see? At first I am calculating omega naught. So what is omega naught? 1 over root over LC. Just keep in mind, this omega naught 1 over root LC, this is applicable to both series circuit, parallel circuit. It does not change. It is the same thing. So, and then here I am substituting those values. You see, L was 0.2 millihenry, and I think R was, the C was 8 microfarad. So accordingly, you see, I changed into Henry. I multiplied by 10 to the power minus 3, and 8 microfarad I changed to farad. So ultimately, I am getting 25 kiloradian per second. And next, I am calculating Q, because I have to calculate Q and V. So therefore, you see Q R over omega naught L. So R was 8 kilo ohm. So that's why it's 8 kilo ohm. And then omega naught, we just calculated here 25 kiloradian per second. Then here I am multiplying by 10 to the power 3. I am converting into radian per second, and this is the L value. 6.2 millihenry. So I got like 1600. You see, quite high value of Q. So very high quality circuit. It has very, very high sharpness. Now, what is the V? B omega naught over Q, bandwidth. So therefore, I got omega naught, I got Q, so 15.625 radian per second. So then I am done with these first three questions. Find omega naught QB. Now find omega 1 and omega 2. So therefore here I am just showing the that standard definition of omega 1 and omega 2, those expression. But of course, because Q is greater than 1600, definitely you can use those two equations. Definitely you will be getting the same result. Therefore, here I am just showing with that big expression. Here I got, after plugging in all the values, 24,992 radian per second, and then omega 2, 25,008 radian per second. Then there was the third question, determine the power dissipated at omega naught, omega 1, and omega 2. What is the value of power? So that thing is here. Power dissipated at omega naught, V omega naught, have Vm square over R, as you can see. So what is the value of Vm? So this is the value of Vm, because this is the magnitude or amplitude of the, again, like it does not matter it is sine omega t or cosine omega t. This is the magnitude of the voltage. So that's why this Vm became 10. This is the R value. I am getting 6.25 milliwatt. And then power dissipated at omega 1 and omega 2, which is P omega 1 equal to P omega 2. You see, we looked for the equation 1 over 4 V square R. So this is again the Vm value, this is R value. We got 3.125 milliwatt. Everybody, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so therefore look all those calculations once again. Okay. So you see, and if you have calculator, then together with me you can see, or after the class you see all the things here. Okay, I will show you another numerical problem. You see, look everybody, the question is determine the resonant frequency of the following circuit. So therefore this is a parallel circuit. The current source is given in terms of Im cosine of omega t. This value is not given. And the capacitor value is 0.1 farad, resistance value is 10 ohm, and it is not inductance. This is inductance in series with a 2 ohm resistance. And then this is the answer I have written, omega naught 2 radian per second. But here, you see, I am asking resonant frequency. You cannot do like omega naught equal to 1 over root over LC, because here it is in series. That is the problem. If you see that it is not series, only 2 Henry here, 10 ohm and this one, pure all three are in parallel, then you can use that equation 1 over root over LC. So that's why we have to use the different technique to get the resonant frequency. So therefore everybody see, this was my circuit. What I am calculating? I am calculating the admittance Y. This is parallel circuit. This is in series combination, but ultimately this is parallel circuit. So what I am doing? I am writing admittance. So therefore, what is the admittance of this one? J omega 0.1. You see, it will be J omega C, because if you think the impedance, then 1 over JXC, then XC is 1 over omega C. So ultimately J omega C, this one, plus this is 10 ohm, so 1 over 10. I'm sorry. And then plus this one. What is the series combination? What is the impedance? This is 2 plus j omega 2. And then I am making the admittance. So 1 over 2 plus j omega 2. Everybody, could you follow this one? The y expression of admittance?
Yes.
Okay. So then you see, I am calculating what I am doing. First, I am writing this number 1 over 10.1 because this is the real number. And here you see there is j here, and here you can see j. So this is the complex number. So here what I am doing, I am multiplying numerator and denominator, both numerator and denominator, by 2 minus j omega 2. So therefore, in my denominator, it will be like 2a square plus 4 omega square. Because j square, it will be minus 1. I am multiplying 2 minus j omega 2. So therefore, in the numerator, it was 1. So you can see 2 minus j omega 2. And then see the calculation, this one as it is still. Here I am dividing by 2 in the numerator, denominator. So therefore, it became 1 minus j omega. It became 2 plus 2 omega squared. Now I am, organizing real term and then imaginary term. So here you see what you can do. So you could write in that format like 1 over 2 plus 2 omega squared. This is one thing. And then the other thing is minus j omega over this one. So that's why here you see this one was real, this one real. And from here, I am taking this part 1 over 2 plus 2 omega squared. So now this is my real part. And this j omega 0.1, this is coming here, j omega 0.1 minus this portion. So therefore, why I did that one? Because this is now real and then this portion is imaginary. And why I did in that way, why I whole thing expressed in that way, because at resonance, imaginary of y, imaginary of admittance should be 0. That is what we learned today. So this means that I can say this portion is 0. And then I can change the omega symbol omega naught because I am looking the resonance condition. So I did, you see, look all the calculation. Ultimately, then I got omega naught 2 radian per second. Everybody, could you follow me?
Yes, except for the first step in the input admittance.
Oh, so the
Okay,
first,
now move your cursor one down.
yeah.
When you switch, did you just multiply the fraction by its conjugate?
This one,
Yeah.
yeah. The conjugate of the denominator.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you see, because in the denominator there is no j. So this means I multiplied this one by its conjugate. I multiply that for both numerator and denominator. You have to multiply by 2 minus j omega 2. Therefore, in the numerator it was 1. So you can see only 2 minus j omega 2. And then in the denominator, like 2 plus j omega 2 multiplied by 2 minus j omega 2. So like a plus b into a minus b algebra, a square minus b square. So therefore, this is your v, j omega is squared. So j square will be minus 1. That's why it became plus 4.
Thank you.
Is this fine?
Yes, just making things clear.
Yeah, sure. Therefore, I mean, I believe each of you have your pen and paper. Sometimes you can use your pen and paper to check. So I want to get rid of the j from denominator. That is my objective. That's why I am multiplying both numerator and denominator here by 2 minus j omega 2. And then I got this one, denominator in the numerator, 2 minus j omega 2. And then after that, because 2 is the common factor, so I am taking 2 common and 2 cancel. Therefore, 1 minus j omega and denominator 2 plus 2 omega squared. And then here I am organizing, arranging, because 0.1 is real number. Here I can say 1 over 2 plus omega square is real number. That is I am writing in one parenthesis. And then this j, and then definitely this j. This is the imaginary part. And that part I am equating to 0, that resonance condition. Because my question was determine the resonant frequency, that omega naught, that I am trying to achieve. That's why here there is omega. There is omega here, but this part is the real. So we are fine with that. It is not our headache. We have to look this portion, because resonance condition, imaginary part of the y admittance, this is the y, should be 0. That I am doing. So therefore this portion 0, and then see the calculation. This will be multiplied. So this became omega naught 0.2. Then this one 0.2 omega naught cube, because there is omega naught square, it became power 3, then minus this one. And then next line I am dividing by omega naught. So this became 0.2, this became 0.2 omega naught square, this became minus 1, 0. And then next line I am just putting this on 0.2 omega naught square, and right side I am transferring this on and this on, because these are the real numbers. So 0.8, and then omega naught is square 0.8 divided by 0.24, omega naught is making root over 2 radian per second. Everybody, could you follow me?
Yes.
So right after this one, today you will make practice. Today, everybody will join, participate. I am showing a circuit, exactly similar thing, just it will be different circuit. So therefore, once again, everybody understand what I did. I wrote down the y expression, and then you have to simplify in that way, and you have to make y equal to 0, that imaginary part of y 0. Therefore, see this one. Therefore, everybody, please you try. At first, I will not show you the solution. I am writing down the answer 100. Everybody, please find out the resonant frequency for this circuit. And answer should be 100. You start working. Everybody, please try. And once you get this result, let me know. Everybody, please take your pen and paper and start solving this one. Therefore, again, in this case, you see that this is parallel, these two are in parallel, but then this is in series. So that's why directly you cannot apply that rule. Yeah. So first, you all find out what you can do. First, you can, in this case, you can find out the, I'm quickly showing, first you can find out the impedance. You can assume that this is the series circuit. And then, so you first calculated the input impedance, and then you convert into real and imaginary, and then imaginary part of the impedance will be 0. So then ultimately you will be getting that omega naught 100. So everybody, please you practice and you make sure that you are getting 100. Is everybody fine? Are you working?
Yes.
Yes, please start. Yeah. So as I said, as I gave you hints, you please calculated the impedance, in this case not admittance. So this means that clearly these two portions is in parallel. First you make the parallel combination of these two, and then this is in series. That's why in this case you please calculated the impedance Z, and then you decompose, organize into real and reactive, real and imaginary, and equate imaginary parts 0, and then the similar calculation, and let me know you are getting 100. This is practice for you. So therefore, what is the very first step? Your very first step would be to convert this one into phasor. Change 100 millihenry into phasor format and change 0.5 millifarad into phasor format. You have to express in terms of J and omega. Because you will be calculating resonant frequency, you should have the omega not available. So that's why the first task is convert these two components into their respective phasor domain. 20 ohm is fine because this is resistance. So anybody, whenever you will be getting the same result, then let me know. Everybody, please try your best until the end of the class. Like you have about 9-10 minutes. Please, everybody, make practice this one. Again, I will be asking you similar questions in your upcoming midterm exam or another homework, similar things. So that time you have to do it correctly.
Wait, so Dr. Elliott, we're supposed to calculate the impedance or the admittance?
Impedance. Calculate the
Okay.
impedance. Yeah.
Okay. So in the last question you calculated the admittance, how'd you know to do one over the other?
So therefore it depends on the pattern. For example, here this is the series component and these two are in parallel. That's why I converted parallel into their equivalent and then series with this one. But
Okay.
but here you see the parallel. Yeah.
Okay, so it's easier to do impedance.
Yes.
Or admittance here.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Therefore,
Makes
if you just make a series combination and then whole thing is in parallel. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Welcome. So therefore, everybody, please try this one. So you calculate impedance. You see clearly these two is in parallel. So make their first parallel, and then this is in series. So calculate the impedance. Just as a hint, you see, I have got this format in G, total impedance. So have you got in this format? So therefore, as you can see, the first component is in real, and then the last two component is in imaginary because there is JJ. It should be around this format. So everybody calculate now. You see, are you getting this thing or not?
Yes.
Yes. Julian, you said yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then once you get this on, what you have to do? You have to write at resonance that imaginary part should be 0. Therefore, I have written at resonance imaginary part J is 0. And then from there, you go ahead and let me know that you are getting 100. So therefore, for everybody, you see what I am doing. Input impedance, I have written Z, this one, J omega 100 millihenry. I converted into phasor plus G on. So I have given the equivalent of these two is G on. So this means these two is in parallel. So see, G on is 20 multiplied by 1 over J omega C divided by 20 plus 1 over. I'm just making parallel of this one. That is my G on. So therefore I got 20 over 1 plus J omega 10 to the power minus 2. And I just put in that way. You might express different way. And then G, I am summing up this one plus this result. And then again, similar to the previous problem, numerator, I want to get rid of the J from the denominator in this expression. That's why I multiplied 1 minus J omega 0.01, both numerator and denominator. And then I got this format. And then here, this is real part, this portion is imaginary because there is JJ. So this one, this minus this one. That portion you have to equate to 0. And then you should be getting 100 radian per second. So everybody so far, have you got impedance in this format? I mean, you might not write likewise me, like I have written 0.01 squared. You might write it's the actual calculation, but of course it should be in this format. This is J 0.1, and then again you might express this one. I just wrote 0.01 squared. You might write 0.001 in that way. That is fine, but at least you should be getting, you must be getting in this format. That's why everybody see that if you are not getting this format, then where you made mistakes. Look from the beginning. Calculate the impedance J for that circuit. That's all. And then like I equated this to 0, and then again I'm sharing the next slide also. Ultimately, you see my calculation. Ultimately, you see in that way, I got omega naught 100 radian per second. This is the very last one, very last line. Therefore, you make sure everybody use your calculator, pen and paper, and then let me know that you are getting the same result. Therefore, the very first thing is that everybody makes sure that you are getting the correct G. That is the number one. If you have made mistake in calculating the Z, then you will not get the result. Brad, did you get the result or is still going on?
I'm still working on it.
Okay, so where are you now? So have you got similar G or you got completely different thing? This is the number one step that if you don't get the correct G, then you will end up with wrong result. Is your G look like this one? So as I said, like I have written here 0.01 squared. So you might write 0.001. Other than that, it should be in that format.
So when I make the resonant, or when I make the frequency equal to 0, I wind up with a W cubed. What am I supposed to do with this W cubed?
So how much you got, you said?
Uh, okay, yeah, I'm at the first line.
So this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I got stuck.
Oh, okay. After that, you say, what I did, I divided by omega naught, both left side, right side, because you see, omega naught is the common factor. So omega naught cancelled. Here you are getting omega naught squared and omega naught cancelled. And then I am transferring this on point to right side and from here point on right side. So I am getting point on only on the right side. And my left side omega naught is squared. Therefore, see my calculation. Therefore, Julian, if you have got this line, first line, then you divide both sides of the equation by omega naught, because omega naught is on common factor.
All right, I got it. I
Oh.
got 100 really second.
So therefore, if you have got this line, the second line, then you should be getting the third line. You see what I did, the right side is point on, and then the left side, the multiplier with omega naught squared was point on. So you see that point on, it became 1. And then I'm dividing by 0.01 squared, which is 0.001. So this is omega naught squared. So omega naught is root over 1 over this one. So you calculate, this will be 100 radian per second. Julian, are you not getting this one?
No, I have that one.
Oh, okay. So you properly you got 100, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Brad, you got it now?
Yes, sir. I just got lost in algebra for a second.
Okay. So again, I am going the previous slide. I think the first one, this one is very important. Yeah. Okay, look this one. Once I get that correct G, then I'm writing at resonance. Imaginary part of G is 0. And then you see this portion is the imaginary. So that portion is. Everybody, did you get this one or still you are struggling with calculating G?
By following the steps that you put, I was able to get that answer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean that I said that you might write in different format. You say I have written like 0.0 on squared. I have left in that format. You might express different way. But whatever the format you express, ultimately you should get the same result, 100 radian per second. Okay, I think now it is 10:08. So everybody please, I already uploaded, these slides on equals already. This is posted. So you see your calculation and so everybody make practice. And then again, at home, you look the previous one as well. Again, you recalculate the previous one that I got 2 radian per second. Then it will be a good practice for you. Okay, so with that, I will stop sharing.